So I opened up Twitter today and I saw a video of a woman being attacked by a man who I guess wanted to gain access to his wife that was in the back of her car. Now, it was an Uber driver. She recently picked up the woman, if the story is correct in my mind. She recently picked up the woman, and as soon as she was beginning the destination, um, someone rammed into the back of her car. And it seemed like she was confused, as she should be, because it was like, what the, what the hell just happened? And essentially, as soon as she questioned it, he rammed her again for the second time. And the second one got her emotion, right? So she tried to get out of there, and the man rammed into her twice more, right? And it I didn't read too much into the story. It seems like some sort of domestic dispute. That is, I can't even say that. Obviously, some sort of domestic violence issue. You have a man ramming into a back of an Uber car because he wants access to his wife that's trying to get away from him. That's obviously domestic violence. Luckily, she got away. They got to a police precinct. There was a lot of damage to the back of the car. Um, as of right now, I didn't really look back into the story because I don't really like seeing stuff like that on my timeline. But as of right now, police are looking for the dude. Hopefully, he gets arrested. Hopefully, he spends his time in jail like he should. Um, but it reminded me of a time when I used to do Uber. So I think it was like 2019, 2018 or 2019. I did Uber on the side when I used to work at a hospital, and I was in Long Island, and I got a pickup request at a bar. So I'll go to pick up my passenger. Beautiful woman comes out of a bar, sits in the back of the car, and she's like, you know, good evening. And the first thing she says to me after that is, okay, I know I put this address in, but just, I'm going to stay here in the parking lot. Can you please just drive around for a bit and bring me back to my car? So I look back at her, and as a man growing up with a lot of women around him, I immediately understood that she was in some sort of, at least temporary danger, right? So I didn't even question it. I just took her instructions and just started driving around. And about, 30 seconds after I left the parking lot, I started to, try to ask her, like, is she okay? Does she need help? And it wasn't an emergency, but she definitely was spooked. And the story she tells me is she met a guy. They went out on a date. This was their first date. Um, she was interested in him, but as soon as they got to the bar, he kept taking shots, drink after drink. Didn't seem drunk, but between the alcohol and him talking about his guns, he was ex-military. He essentially kept talking about his weapons, his guns, and he didn't take the hint at all from her when she expressed to him that she didn't care about his gun collection. Um, Most men that I know, at least, would take that as a sign to move on to the next topic, right? But this particular gentleman, he didn't get it. He didn't understand. Maybe he's socially awkward, and that's shooting him some bail. So I believe we have to shoot people some bail. We have to give people at least some sort of leeway, right? So maybe he was just socially awkward, and maybe he was just excited to find a woman that was attractive, and he just wanted to talk about his gun collection because we like to talk about the things that we like, right? But as a man, when a woman tries to steer a conversation somewhere else, you should allow it to happen, especially if you're talking about the same thing And it doesn't have to be guns. It could be you could be talking about, I don't know, you could be talking about cars or the weather. If you talk about the sun for 15 minutes, maybe she might want to talk about something different. If you talk about guns for 15 minutes, maybe she might feel uncomfortable, right? So she obviously felt uncomfortable. So she tells me the story as we're driving around, and I expressed to her that yeah, she's not wrong for feeling the way she's feeling because she second guessed herself. And me being who I am, I reassured her and say like, yo, that guy is obviously not taking a hint, and I understand why you feel the way you feel. I understand why you want me to take you, you know, around the block a few times just so that he won't see the car that you pull up in. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it truthful. Men are dangerous. There's no sugarcoating that. From a woman's perspective, men are dangerous. Are all men that way? Obviously not. Do women feel unsafe around a certain type of men? Yeah, they do. If you're going to talk about guns all day in a country where mass shootings are abundant, where women tend to be abused by their husbands and hunted down in the back of an Uber car, women tend to feel uncomfortable. Long story short, I took her back to the parking lot. She thanked me. Um, she complimented me on the music that I was playing. Um, she wrote me a nice review afterwards about the situation, and I was happy that I was the one that picked her up because I don't know, it could have been somebody else that just didn't understand women the way I do. And shout out to my mom and my sisters and my aunts for giving me the perspective on women that I needed. Because if not for that, who knows how I would approach women? Who knows how I would feel about a story like that being told to me while I'm driving someone in the back of the car? Um, and shout out to the Uber driver that kept that woman safe and took her to the precinct. Because maybe if she wasn't there, maybe if that Uber driver didn't get there at the time they did, things could have been a lot worse. So, as men, we need to remember why we're here in the first place. We need to remember that women are our foundation and we need to treat them better. And as men, we need to recognize that women can be scared of us because idiots like this exist. So we need to take up that mantle and be good.